Today we will be discussing French withdrawal from the area of Hao Binh. It has been seen by me that you people are watching the videos for 3 to 4 minutes and leaving it the rest of it for maybe the later time. Let me tell you, you are much lavish on time as of now. So, to benefit you more, what I'm going to do is make the videos only for about 5 to 6 minutes, that is discussing only one question, so that it remains at the back of your mind and you can answer the question in the exam. The question: explain how General Giap made French to withdraw from Hao Binh. If you see here, Hao Binh is a town which is southwest of Hanoi. It is on the western bank of Black River, where the Black River exits the mountains. So the town is surrounded by the hills, and it has got a lot of vegetation and very rough terrain around it. And it is served by a road and the waterways. The French paralanded troops in Hao Binh on 14 November 1951. This move of French posed a threat to the Viet Minh supply lines. So Giap was tasked to conduct an operation to defeat the French initiative. Now, Giap had learned his lessons in the river delta. He didn't want to bang his head against the strength. So rather than concentrating his forces against Hao Binh, he ordered the divisions to spread out and harass the French at many points. The concentration of forces would have attracted bombardment from the French Air Force. General Giap effectively utilized the terrain, combining with the guerrilla tactics, ambushes, interdiction of supply lines, and psychological warfare. He was able to create circumstances in which French had to finally start withdrawing on 22nd February 1952. So here's how he did it. We'll discuss in detail. Selection of the defensive positions. Giap strategically positioned his forces in the rugged terrain surrounding Hao Binh. Mountainous terrain provided natural advantages for the defense, including elevated positions, narrow passes, and dense vegetations, which made it challenging for the French to attack or maneuver their troops effectively. Then the ambush tactics. Giap's forces employed ambush tactics to exploit the terrain and inflict maximum damage on the French patrols and convoys. By utilizing the natural cover and concealment provided by the terrain, Viet Minh guerrillas could launch surprise attack on French supply lines and communication routes, disrupting their operations and morale. Interdiction of the supply lines. Giap recognized the strategic importance of controlling key routes and supply lines leading to Hao Binh. By deploying his forces to block or interdict French supply routes through the rugged terrain, Giap was able to isolate the French garrison and deprive them of the reinforcement, ammunition, and provisions. They repeatedly attacked the small outposts of French to protect their supply lines both from the road and river. Psychological warfare. The inhospitable terrain and relentless guerrilla tactics employed by Giap's forces took a toll on the morale and endurance of the French troops stationed at Hao Binh. The constant threat of ambushes, the difficulty of navigating the terrain, and isolation caused disrupted supply lines contributed to sense of frustration and demoralization among the French forces. Attrition strategy. Giap understood that by prolonging the conflict and imposing attritional losses on the French forces, he could undermine their resolve and compel them to reconsider their strategic objectives. The challenging terrain of Hao Binh facilitated Giap's attrition strategy by providing opportunities for hit and run attacks, harassment, and guerrilla warfare tactics that gradually wore down the enemy's strength and resources. Utilization of local support. Jap's forces leveraged the support of the local population living in the rugged terrain around Hao Binh. The local villagers provided valuable intelligence, logistical support, and manpower to the Viet Minh, further enhancing their ability to sustain their operations and resist the French attempts to subdue them. So, what was the significance of this French withdrawal from the Hao Binh? The French withdrawal from Hao Binh had a significant psychological impact both domestically and internationally. It was perceived as a strategic victory of the Viet Minh and sign of French weakness and vulnerability. This boosted the morale among Viet Minh fighters and supporters while undermining the morale of the French forces and their allies. The Viet Minh gained greater control over Hao Binh region, including its rugged terrain and strategic position. This allowed them to establish bases, supply routes, and communication network in the area, enhancing their operational capabilities and expanding their influence. Now that brings us to the end of this presentation. We will be discussing more questions like this. Thank you.